Here, Peck with the finish. Doing what she does best. Both Pecks are on the floor for Decatur, as you just heard, starting out. Braylon, 6'1", Saylor, only 6 foot. Wow. Playing in their final high school game together. Saylor has 2 more years. Driving in, Funderbunk. Michaelin Funderburg ties it at 4.
We're seeing lots of on-the-ball defense right now by Lavega. You don't want to have Decatur settle into their half court because that's where they can pick you apart, especially when they start finding cutters at the dunker spots.
How about Saylor Peck?
Boy, is it ever a good day to be a Peck?
You're not kidding.
You know, Chase, I'll be interested to watch if Lavega continues to use their athleticism, if Decatur's adamant to continue to play man-to-man defense.
Offensive foul from Parker Minute, or offensive rebound, excuse me, from Parker Minute. There is a foul called on Decatur. Looks like it's on Style Brazil. She will come out along with CeCe Davis. Maddox Kaufman is in for Decatur, as well as the Pecks, along with Jaden Oates and Lakin Kaufman. So 2 Kaufmans and 2 Pecks. Maria Kelly drives right lane and misses the lay-in. Taken right back by Parker Minute. And we have a foul called on Decatur.
Take your time, take your time.
See, even though that shot didn't go down, that's exactly what they want to get. They're confident in their ability with 5 out to beat anybody off the dribble. That one didn't go down, but if they get that look throughout the night, you can absolutely anticipate they're going to continue to do so.
Pass into Kinsey. Kinsey misses in the paint. Offensive board, Harbert. Harbert then has it taken away by Peck. Peck has to go down and pick it up. Peck slow to get up as she rolled it to Oates. Maddox Kaufman looking for Peck. Taken by Oates. And it's going back to Lavega. Substitution time for Waco Lavega. Alviana Spratt coming in for Kamara Harbert. Kelly being guarded by Kaufman. Drives between 2 defenders and lays it up and in, taking it herself. And we're tied at 6.
Aggressive early on for Lavega. They just had to be able to withstand that for all 4 quarters and not be able to settle for outside shots.
Ball goes out of bounds as Oates was flying up the floor. It will stay with Decatur. And this is a deep roster that Decatur has. You're going to see a lot of substitutions all day as Maddox Kaufman, the 5'7" sophomore, comes back in. Quick pass into Brazil. Brazil has a wide open lane. Drew Kaufman thrilled with that. Marcus Willis, not at all.
No, he knew that somebody got beaten on the backside defensively. Decatur doesn't need a ton of room to get a shot off, but when you have that open of a hole, that's a defensive breakdown that's strictly about rotations and not positioning.
Foul called on Braylon Peck. And that's already her second.
Early decision time for Coach Kaufman.
It was actually on Saylor Peck, they say. Can't tell if it's a 2 or a 3 when they put it up. All I know is Rye Kinsey is getting a bucket and tying it at 8. Bad pass intercepted. Here's Kelly going to the line for 2.
This is the blueprint for Lavega to come out with a win today, allowing your defense to lead to, even if it's not easy opportunities, getting to the free throw line. We've already seen them go off the dribble a couple of times, and this is absolutely the correct blueprint if you feel like you have an advantage, at least athletically, when the space is open like that.
Kelly missing the first shot. Oates coming out of the contest. Missed both free throws. Rebounded by Saylor.
And a look for Harbert and Peck here. Probably the biggest defender that Lavega's going to be able to throw at Peck, at least physically.
Saylor, Peck. Lost the handle. Scooped up by Lavega. Up ahead is Kinsey. Kinsey. Turnaround jumper. Airballed. Rebounded by Peck, and she got fouled in the process along the baseline. Looks like it's on Spratt. Kaufman's going to fire a three. Miss it off the tip of the rim. Loose ball, held ball, possession arrow points in favor of Waco Lavega. And believe it or not, that was the first three-point attempt from Decatur all day.
Well, not only that, it was their first missed field goal. If they take care of the ball, the recipe becomes pretty crystal clear here in the first 5 minutes. You take care of the ball, there's a good chance you're going to get a good look. You just have to make sure that it gets across the timeline, because you've seen lots of high-flying on-ball defense applied by the Pirates thus far.
We saw a lot of contested defense in the 3A games earlier today. Here's Kelly in the corner for three. She's short. And it's going back to Decatur. Lavega couldn't save it from going out. CeCe Davis in for Decatur, and she throws it into Brazil. Davis, Brazil, Lake and Kaufman, and both Pecks are in. Davis, bad pass for Brazil. Deflected out by Funderburk.
And make no mistake, Braylon Peck is going to get hers tonight, Chase, but there are two Pirate bodies that are getting thrown at her every single time she touches the ball. So she has to understand that if her job is to be a facilitator tonight when it's there, she has to take it, because somebody's going to be wide open along the perimeter.
Well, Braylon Peck finds the opening, and Decatur takes a 2-point lead.
That's an outstanding pass there from CeCe Davis, who just checked in. Those two have played a lot of high-stakes basketball together over their 4 years.
Nowhere better to end their high school careers than right here. Harbert going inside. Just off. Offensive board, Spratt. Kicks it out to Kinsey for three. She got fouled on the shot. Fouled by Davis. And Drew Kaufman is livid. And you can hear Drew Kaufman loud and clear. And when he gets that animated, I'm just going to shut up and let him take the broadcast.
The closeout has to be better, and I think a little bit of it is boiling over from the fact that Lavega even had a chance to go twice on the same possession. But Lavega, at one point tonight, they're going to have to hit their free throws, especially if this game turns as physical as we anticipate, especially late in the fourth quarter.
Rye Kinsey has two more. First made free throw of the game. Kelly is checking back in. Funderburk is coming out of the contest.
And you just look at the margins of victory we've seen throughout now this day plus, Chase. Usually a couple of rounds before we saw it in the 3A games, with single-digit games. These two teams have been on a collision course since mid-January. Neither team having a single-digit game throughout this entire playoff run.
Kinsey makes 2 out of 3, and the game is tied. Peck in the corner. Man alive, Braylon Peck makes the first three-pointer of the game for either squad to put Decatur up by 3. Kelly trying to respond, and she does. She gets a huge laugh from Marcus Willis, and I don't think he cares how she scored.
Hey, once you get to the state championship game, if it goes in, you take it and you run with it.
It counts the same. Saylor over to Braylon. Great passing around the perimeter. Brazil goes baseline, and she's fouled by Kinsey.
That's just a super patient offensive possession for Decatur. And what they've done now is Braylon Peck isn't automatically going down low into the post. They're moving her outside where she's just as good a shooter as anybody on the floor. And so Lavega needs to find a defensive response for that.
This feels like a hockey game. So many substitutions.
Some odd line changes.
Brazil gives Decatur the lead again. Brazil got them both.
If you would have told me in the first quarter that Decatur would be, with 1 minute left, would be shooting 86% from the floor and perfect from the free throw line, only ahead by 2, would not have believed you.
Much too aggressive of a pass from Kelly, looking for Horn. And it goes out of bounds, back to Decatur with 46 left. Brazil is coming out. We're throwing into Brazil. I thought I heard she's coming out. It's thrown into Brazil. 40 seconds left. Peck. Bouncer to Davis on the left wing. Trying to get it back inside to Peck, and Peck's fouled. Harbert with her second personal.
Well, she's the most physical defender that Lavega is going to be able to throw at Peck off the bench. And she reads the pass beautifully. The only issue is that she mistimed her swat, and she got more hand than ball, and that's why you see Peck heading to the free throw line now.
First quarter, and Peck already has 8. First time at the line.
You ever feel like you're watching the same movie again?
You know, a lot of times, especially at this place, I sure do. Kelly is fouled.
This is going to be close.
Foul called on Maddox Kaufman. Drew Kaufman. As you can see at the top of your screen, kind of just gave her a posture like, what did you see there? What?
You talk to me, I'll talk to you.
Yes. He's one of my favorite coaches to watch. Just rattled through. It's a 2-point game with 18 seconds left. Just got it into Laken Kaufman. Horn defending. Just got it across. 10 seconds. Down to 5. Brazil. They need to put it up. Brazil does. She misses the mid-range jumper. And that is the end of a very entertaining first quarter of play. Decatur 17, Lavega 15. A rematch of last year's state championship. We're now going to go on over to Lathan, Washington. Lathan, how are you, my friend?
Lathan, how you doing over there, my man?
Doing good, Chase. Welcome back, everybody. It's good to see y'all. Good to be back. And we have another sequel matchup here tonight, another rematch to it. And this one looks like the second is going to be better than the first and even more juicier. I talked to Decatur side of our assistant coaches how they accepted the target on their back all year long, and how they were just fearless with it and they accepted the challenge and took it on. Like a lot of these other teams here that came back here for us to repeat. As far as Lavega, well, it's kind of a different story here on the sideline. They've been silent. They've been focused. They've been quiet. They've been locked in on a mission this year. It's a different vibe on the sideline this year. As you can tell, they're trying to avenge their loss from last season, and we're going to see how that turns out in the second quarter.
He's the rapper. My boy Lathan.
Lathan doesn't respond to me anymore. He only responds to EJ Sanchez. And
It's a different kind of relationship between me and Al.
Yeah.
Late 2 Live and I.
He has no idea that I'm even talking to him.
No, but
He pretends I don't exist.
no,
He's not the only one.
True. Been there.
All right, Decatur up by 2 as we begin the second quarter. Peck with a great pass to her sister. Davis is wide open, and she knocks it down. Decatur goes up by 5.
This game may come down to who can hit more outside shots, especially when you have an open look like that. Being able to turn it into points is all you can ask for.
Offensive foul called on Peck, on Sailor Peck.
And that's one Lavega's going to want back. Away from the ball and inconsequential in terms of where they were trying to go.
I should have said defending Peck was Parker Minute. 20-15. Brazil trying to go to work. Foul called on Lavega. And the foul is called on Simariah Kelly.
In all the times you call a basketball game, there's one thing that rings true. If you have 2 quick fouls, 47 seconds into a quarter, usually doesn't spell good things heading down the stretch.
Missed them both. Sailor Peck is there for the rebound, and she gets fouled.
You know, it's a little more harmful than 2 and 47 seconds, 3 and 48.
Oh, she better be careful. Parker Minute better be careful. She's lucky she didn't get attacked. I know what Decatur's asking for. Quick pass into Brazil. Brazil in the paint. Kicks it out to Davis. That's a foul.
Yeah, that's a foul. That's a foul.
Davis just got shoved to the ground.
And this is all about composure
It's
now for
on Parker
Lavega.
Minute again.
It's all about composure now. And there's no doubt when you see whistle after whistle after whistle all headed towards you, your brain goes somewhere else, but you cannot let that affect you, especially in a game of this magnitude.
Wide open is Peck. Just rolls out. Rebounded by Kelly. And Kelly's now fouled by Kaufman. Parker Minute already sitting with her 3rd personal foul.
And somebody else in that front court off the bench is going to have to step up because you do not want to force Lavega to have to go small when Braylon Peck is going to be on the floor for 30 minutes tonight.
Kinsey. Over to Kelly in the corner, goes baseline. Just got it back. Kelly on the right wing finds an open Kinsey way downtown. She's short. Long rebound, Funderburg.
No foul or nothing.
Finds Kelly again, who will bring it back out. Now will fire.
Good shot.
And bank it through
Bang.
again.
Yes, sir.
And it's 20-18.
I hope you're not asking me to analyze that.
No. Peck thought about it. Drives in. Held ball. Possession arrow going in favor of Lavega.
Now that's what Kinsey just did is what they've been trying to do with Peck.
Yep.
Be physical with her and tie her up. The thing is, Peck is so savvy, she's been able to turn it into a couple of fouls against her. But that is the goal. And good on Lavega not wavering, especially with the consecutive whistles they've gotten going against them.
Kelly.
Good contest.
Somehow got it to Spratt, and Spratt gets fouled in the process.
You got to slow down a little bit.
That's on Sailor Peck. That's her second personal foul. Spratt gets her first point of the game. Checking out for Lavega is Horn. And checking in now is Sanaya King, the 5'10" freshman. Misses the second. Decatur still with the lead.
Play good defense. Move your feet. All you got to do is move your feet.
Maddox Kaufman back in. Trying to get it to
There you
Braylon
go.
Peck, but it was deflected away by
There you go. That's what we need.
Up ahead, open is
That's what we
Thunderbird,
need.
who gives Lavega the lead, and a timeout is
Bang!
taken by Drew
Yeah, you better
Kaufman.
call it.
A
That's all we
30-second
gotta do.
timeout
We
with
had 'em round
5:27
them.
left in the
They
first
backed
half.
up.
We'll take the
Bang!
timeout with them. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the NFHS Network.
You can't
All
guard
we gotta
me.
do is
You need a
move
break
our feet.
the L tonight. Do you need a break? Come on.
Ben, your mom called. Looks like you're stuck with us tonight.
Let's go. Give me a shred.
This game is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
I'm watching this on the network, on the NFHS network.
Back here on the NFHS Network, Chase Snyder here with you alongside
This right here.
my partner EJ Sanchez. Great game so far. Davis fell down and lost the handle. Braylon Peck is able to pick it up. Brazil drives inside.
Good block.
Blocked by Spratt, who's been outstanding defensively.
Shoot that.
Wide open in the corner. King is way off. Rebounded by CC Davis.
Spratt right now, there's no really complicated system she's playing. She's playing with such a high motor, chasing things down from behind, really good on rotations, and that's why she's been able to keep this defense in line after a hot start by Decatur.
Brazil fading away in the paint. She's short. A fight for the ball. Held ball. Possession arrow points in favor of the Eagles. Pass into Kaufman. Outside to Brazil. Kaufman wasn't ready for it. Chasing it down is Kelly. Kelly picks it up and finds a wide open King. What a find it was.
Yeah.
You called it was a great find.
Both teams have now withstood the first punch.
Yeah,
now you can settle into this game.
There you go.
Decatur is taking the best of Lavega, and now we're settling into the game we thought we were going to get.
Braylon Peck had it stripped and stolen by Kelly, and a timeout taken by Coach Willis. A 30-second timeout halfway through the second quarter.
Good timeout.
An 8-0 run for Lavega in the last 2.5 minutes. Decatur hasn't scored in over 3.5 minutes.
And they covered.
Yeah, they had the three-pointer open up, but they just have not been able to take care of the ball right now. See, we go back to that last play. They have been able to hit a couple of threes, especially early on. You saw one from Davis, but then Lavega with a couple of bank threes on the part of Kinsey. They've been able to stay with this. The number that's sticking out to me right now, Chase, is the fact that Decatur has controlled most of the first half, yet 9 turnovers to Lavega's 4. Because they've continued to outshoot Lavega. They're continuing to hold their own in the rebounding battle, but they just have not been able to settle in on the half court. And a couple of passes just have been errant passes, and you give all the credit in the world to Lavega on that part, forcing a Decatur team that does not make a lot of mistakes into some uncharacteristic ones.
Peck last year as MVP, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 6 blocks, and 5 assists.
She's holding her pace.
She's already got 9 points and 3 rebounds. I don't know if we're going to see 6 blocks again from anyone. But I'll tell you who's getting close is Kelly. She's got 3. Kelly and Spratt have both been tremendous defensively. Michaelin Funderburk passes it in to Kelly. Kelly. Foul's going to be called on Davis.
This is exactly where Lavega was able to withstand that first punch from Decatur. Not settling and getting right back downhill and driving into the paint. That's where they're outscoring Decatur 12-8 right now.
Good. Game basketball by 1.
Lavega has a 5-point lead. Look how much they're pressing.
And Decatur's just all out of sorts right now. They can't get a clean pass off without one Pirate coming in the way of another.
Taken right back by the Lady Pirates. Bad pass trying to get it to Spratt. Davis takes it back. I don't know why she stopped. Gave it back to Kaufman. Brazil over to Kaufman at the logo. Wide open is Davis on the left wing. Just off the mark. Kaufman gets the rebound. Over to Brazil. Backs her way in. Great find underneath to Kaufman.
Brazil's second assist. Knowing when you have 2 defenders, especially down there on the low post, you know that somebody else is open, and good on Brazil, understanding that was right next to her. An easy 2 for the Eagles.
Peck with the deflection. They were trying to get it down low to Spratt, and Peck wasn't having any of it. Double dribble. And Brazil and Peck having a conversation only 2 people that have played with each other since they were little girls can have. 2.5 minutes to play in the first half of play.
6 turnovers just this quarter alone for Decatur.
They're shooting 57% from the field.
Take her. Like that.
Kinsey.
Yep.
Right over Brazil. Rebounded by Braylon Peck. Rebound number 4 for Peck. Here's Brazil. Driving inside, she had it stripped and stolen by Kelly. Here comes Lavega with numbers, 4 on 2. Kinsey has it roll off. Rebounded by Peck. Oh, that didn't look like a foul.
That's one that Decatur's going to want back.
That's absolutely. I think she fell down on her own.
There was certainly contact, and somebody got hit in the nose.
Someone's head was blocking it. I see it now. My apologies for all that. Tried to get it to Harbert. Ball rolling around. That's over and back.
Ah, she tipped it. She tipped it.
Lavega trying to say that it was touched by Decatur.
It was, man. What you mean? It's like over and back.
But did it roll off of a Lavega hand or a Decatur hand?
Well, from the bench right now, you're certainly knowing which way Coach Willis is leaning.
I think he's a little biased.
Maybe.
Kaufman with a minute and a half. Peck at the top. Oates drives inside. Feeds it underneath to Kaufman. Kaufman backing her way in. Well defended. Maddox Kaufman gets it back and then she travels. Boy, Waco Lavega is just clogging up this paint.
Decatur's hit a couple of outside shots. They're just not taking enough. That was only their 7th field goal attempt of the second quarter.
Yeah. I think they're overthinking it.
There's lots of passing, and I'm all for trying to find your most open look, but at a certain point, somebody's going to lose focus for a half a second. Now, whether it be offensively or defensively, that's the internal battle both these clubs are going to have with no shot clock.
Kelly trying to get it to Harbert, goes right through her hands, and a great save by Oates. Up ahead to Peck. Peck got fouled, and it's called on Kelly. And that is her second personal foul. And Decatur is very lucky to be within 3. They have had a very sloppy quarter. 8 turnovers this quarter alone.
The only thing that's helping them is over the last 3 minutes, Lavega has 4 of their own.
Rare miss at the line for Peck. Makes the second. It's a 2-point game. Less than a minute to go. Kelly wants to hold. Harbert over to Funderburk, back to Horn. Kelly at the UIL logo. In the corner, wide open, Funderburk has it roll out. Rebounded by Lakin Kaufman. Decatur has time. Brazil at midcourt with 15 seconds. Brazil. Oates wide open. Missed the shot, rebounded by Spratt, and that will be the end of the first half as Kelly airmails it. But what a first half of basketball it was. Halftime from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Lavega 25, Decatur 23. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the 4A D1 Texas State Championship from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio on the NFHS Network. I think I knew that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time, give your attention to the board. With special presentation, Dr. Jose, you are on the right reverend line.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here at our state championship, you are our team to celebrate the anniversary of their state championship. Tonight,
Yeah, it's the first half. Maybe alright. Better than that second half. And I will play some music, but if I play some music, it's gonna ban the whole Facebook.
Lady Eagles 35-1. Head coach Skip Townsend. In the semifinals, they defeated Liberty Hill 43-32. In the finals, they defeated Waco Lavega by a score of 53-43. Their lone loss that season, 35 wins against only one loss. The Blue Steel was the last 6 day semifinals. Rivals BPD.
Dr. Nelson, we have Brady Bell, Sophie Benzel, Barbara Burris, Lady Estes, Aaron Fowler, Cheyenne Gant, Carla Kay, Vivian Gray, Olivia Gray, Kayla Hay, Haley King, Mira Lillard, Jocelyn Hughes, Madison Halsted, Yuritsa Sanchez, Gabby Sanderberg, Sammy Townsend, Carolyn Time, Martin Yarbrough, and Wally Yarbrough. Dr. Nelson.
Thank you all. A little bit more about this team. Coach Townsend is 5 recent players from this team, 2 of which are here tonight, Ray Sisters, who also interestingly enough went on to play basketball together at universities after they were finished with Oregon. Congratulations to that, ladies. We also have Rob Mitchell, this is Coach Bell. Coach Townsend. Coach Townsend also reported to me that almost he's probably the highest IQ that he had of all his teams. Play any way he needed to, have 4 starters, 6 foot, and make the transition to play any of the basketball that was required for this championship that year. A little bit about Coach Townsend. In the course of his career, made 11 trips to the state tournament, 11 trips, 9 state champions. Here for Coach Townsend, 9 state champions. This team this year was his 8th state championship team. Again, the 2016 Argyle Lady Eagles, 35-1 record. Good news is if you enjoy winning this team this year, come back next year, you'll see it right back here again in 2017 state champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Argyle Eagles 2016.
But they say I'm out here doing the Lord's work. Nah. Ain't no problem, y'all. I don't mind live streaming, whatever going on. I think after this game, if Rapport on here, I'm gonna play I'm gonna show the Rapport game too as well, so we can show some love to Rapport and support them too as well. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in as well. But the Rapport game on here, then right after this game, I think Rapport played. No, I'll come back on probably about 7. I think Rapport played at 7. Let me see. Yeah, I think Rapport played at 7 o'clock. Let me see. No, they don't have the Rapport.
We are back to begin the second half of play. Chase Snyder here with you alongside EJ Sanchez and the third member of our crew, Lathan Washington. Lathan, what'd you get?
Get back to being ourselves here. We got a little out of character here. Get back to boxing out, doing some little things out now. As far as Lavega, my boy Marcus, he ain't talking to me right now. He's locked in and loaded it up. He said, well, 16 more minutes, so I guess I got to wait 60 more minutes to talk to him.
Thanks, Lathan. You don't see journalism like that anymore.
You don't.
In this day and age, we're glad there's Lathan Washingtons.
Kelly with the deuce. Doubles Lavega's lead. I'm jealous of Willis. He had the guts to tell him, I don't want to talk to you. I want to tell that to Lathan all the time. Brazil pulls up, comes up well short. Saved from going out of bounds by Peck, but right into the hands of Harbert.
Let's play our game. Time to play our game.
Kelly off the back of the iron. Here comes Style Brazil. Kaufman couldn't get the lucky bounce.
She stepped into it, though. She caught that right in stride. It's always for a good shooter. When you want to catch it in rhythm, doesn't matter where you are. And that was an example there. She couldn't get it to fall.
Kinsey is fouled by Davis, much to the chagrin of
we have Decatur right behind us.
fans behind us. Yes. And that is the 4th foul for Davis.
Yeah, she's a really good spacer on the floor for Decatur. She's already hit a couple of big shots, so somebody else has to step into that role. And having a good spacer on a team that plays offense the way Decatur does is exactly what they're going to need to fill.
Thunderberg with the finish.
Yes, sir.
Peck.
That's just outstanding defense there from Kinsey.
Yep.
Fronting her the entire way and then switching to make that entry-level pass go off target. That's not an errant pass. It's one where you, as a defender, were having the passer see something different. As soon as you let it go, you switch your position and make it look a whole lot worse.
Saylor trying to force it to Braylon. Harbert traveled.
That was a really good defensive possession there for Decatur. Really crisp with their rotations, and especially Peck, how long she's been in this defensive system. She's calling out every pass for Lavega before it even happens.
She can make defensive adjustments in her sleep.
How excited, just selfishly, are we to see her in the Big 12 next year as an Oklahoma State Cowgirl?
Maddox Kaufman with the strip is Kelly. Kaufman wanted a foul call. Coach Kaufman did.
Wait, who's going to Oklahoma State?
He doesn't get it.
Same way you said, hey, I don't know when we're going to see 6 blocks in a game.
Someone's got to throw it in for Decatur. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Kelly has 5 steals already.
Foul called before the ball was even thrown in. Didn't get a good look. Was it on Spratt? Sure was. That's her second personal. Quick pass into Saylor. She can't handle the pass. 3-on-1 fast break. Kinsey with the finish. And a timeout is taken by Lavega.
Let's bring it home.
Transition points, especially when you're going with an athletic ball club like Lavega, that's where you have to make your money. And understanding that they have the numbers the entire way, that is exactly how you're supposed to finish that off. See, it all starts here.
Yep.
You've had a couple of runners, you've been able to penetrate the paint, and then on defense, whenever you're able to space out like that, that's going to lead to a lot more easy opportunities at the rim.
That was actually Drew Kaufman taking that timeout. Just when you think Decatur's going to get something going, Lavega says, no thank you. Not on our watch.
16-6 since the first quarter.
So it's 25-23 at the half. And it's been a rock fight since we've begun the third quarter of play.
Decatur, since the first quarter, is 2 for their last 11 from the field. They're going to have to start operating through Peck again. They've gotten away from it, and now that she's gone outside, she's made the right play, but at a certain point, she may have to get more aggressive and start to take this thing over like she did a year ago.
Brazil. There's Peck, back to Brazil. Brazil somehow got it back to Kaufman. Lakin Kaufman drives left lane, got it off the glass and through. What a play by Kaufman.
That's not an easy finish, especially she was not right next to the rim. There was some length to go halfway through the lane and still was able to have the touch on that to get it to roll.
Well, you say that they had to get it back into Peck. Kinsey off-balance shot, airballed. Ball goes out. Decatur basketball. Someone also has to help her out. I mean, Peck, 10 points, 5 rebounds, leader in both categories. Halfway through the third. Kaufman down low to Saylor Peck. Back outside to Brazil. Back low to Saylor, who finds Lakin Kaufman. Held ball. Possession arrows keeps it in favor of Decatur.
Peck just has to pick which one of her running mates she wants to run that two-woman game with, whether it be Brazil or Kaufman. One of them has to be able to cut and roll with Peck.
Sailor Peck with a nice move underneath. Ducking Kinsey, getting a bucket, making it a 4-point game. Kelly at midcourt.
Come on.
Going baseline and one. Right, Kinsey.
And one. Yes, sir.
She's demonstrated her toughness all throughout the day, but going right back to work underneath, able to draw the contact. She went out of her way to make sure that she took on extra bodies and a chance at a three-point play. She has been a difference maker along the wing tonight for Lavega.
She's starting to get hot. She now has 11 points. A 30-second timeout taken by Lavega. We'll take the timeout with them. Back in a moment. You're watching the NFHS Network.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
Once a year, a rhythm thunders across Texas. It can't be tamed. It can only be driven. Texas is Ford Truck Month. Let's ride. These trucks, they haul, tow, and conquer everything in their path. So hold on tight and drive the Stampede.
The Stampede is running at your Best in Texas Ford dealer. Get 0 for 60 plus 1,000 truck month bonus cash in F-150.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Say I'll do about the college.
3:24 to go in the third quarter. Lavega up by 7. Up to Braylon Peck. Kaufman. Brazil. In the corner is Brazil. Has it roll out. Rebounded by Kelly.
Let's go! Oh!
Funderburg lost the handle when she had a wide open shot. King saves the possession, gets it out to Kelly, and she responds. Lavega up by 10.
That's the third three tonight for Kelly.
What a pass from Sailor to Braylon, and what a finish. How about that response? Braylon to the line, trying to complete the three-point play. Braylon Peck, 12 points on 5 shots.
That's not bad.
Oh, man. It's hard to be more efficient. And I jinxed her.
So get it out the net.
Apologies to the Peck family from one Mr. Chase Snyder.
And Kinsey got fouled.
Yeah, the commentators, bro, they must be friends with the Decatur family. You know, they call my name. Chase Snyder.
It's on Oates. Kinsey got blocked. Peck called for the foul.
But how much Lavega's been adamant about driving into the paint. It's only a matter of time before Decatur clogs up that. But what you do is you leave yourself open to looks like that.
Braylon Peck with her second personal foul. Kinsey with the miss at the line. This is the one area where Kinsey has struggled. She's only 3 of 7 at the line. Three for 8. Braylon with the rebound.
Oh, good steal,
And
King.
it's taken right back. What a play by King taking it back.
That's something you can't have if you're Decatur. Because that has not been a different look. Lavega's pressured every single inbound pass, so you already know where they're going to be. And it's just a lapse in focus that causes the turnover. Never early to be playing time game.
Willis barking signals. Kinsey goes to work. And finishes. What a shot. Lavega up by 10. Open is Oates. She has a wide open lane. Stops in the lane. Kicks it out to Brazil for 3. She's too strong. Deflected out of bounds. It is going to be off of Peck.
If you're going to get that look with Braylon Peck, you take that every time. The only thing you want back if you're Decatur is that wide open lane where it came to a stop down there on the block. It was almost so wide open.
Yeah.
It felt like Brazil said that there must be something wrong. She slowed down.
There were 2 open shots there. King able to get it across the timeline and double teamed. Will's got a timeout in. He got a timeout in with 1:23 left in the third. We'll take a brief timeout as well. Be back in a moment. You're watching the NFHS Network.
You can't guard me? You need a break? L tonight. Do you need a break? Come on.
Ben! Your mom called. Looks like you're stuck with us tonight.
Let's go! Give me that shred.
This game is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
Rye Kinsey to throw this one in.
No, they for sure rooting for Decatur. These folks ain't won a game, a championship or something since like 1942 or something.
Kinsey,
they said in the beginning of the game.
wide left.
So they trying to
Held ball.
remake history.
Lavega basketball. Both teams, ironically, want to foul.
That was a rare time. You know, the adage always, if you're an official, somebody's always upset at you. That's a rare time where
the whole stadium. Where's our foul? Where's our foul?
Trying to think us down here, maybe we deserve one.
Great defensive play by Lake and Kaufman. This time it's Decatur basketball.
If there's a loose ball, you're almost certainly going to see a peck on it.
Peck drives inside. Got it and one! When in doubt, Braylon Peck.
Just goes right back to work off the dribble. She's so quick on that first approach, and that's why she's able to go by any post defender that gets quick to stop down on the block. And she's just been so fun to watch. 14 and 6 on 5 of 7.
Hey, don't come over here.
Peck makes it a 7-point game. The foul is called on Spratt. That's her third personal, something to keep an eye on.
3 different Pirates now with at least 3. Kelly, Parker Minute, and now Spratt.
Kinsey, kick out to an open Funderburg. Funderburg off-balance shot, but she's fouled. Foul called on Oates. I think I just heard John McEnroe back there.
Is that who that was?
He yelled, "You cannot be serious."
The one thing for Decatur that I need to keep an eye on right now is Kaufman has been in this spot before, but every single time in this press, it almost seems like there's a hesitation when it's broken, and then there's also a hesitation when she has a wide open lane.
Correct.
She went down the lane, she stopped, and then after an easy break the last time, she stopped basically at the timeline and waited for help.
We've seen that a couple times on both sides. I wonder if that's going to be brought up in these huddles at the end of the third quarter. Like, hey, don't be afraid to just take what you're given. Lakin Kaufman hands it off to Brazil. Brazil thought she was about to fire. She'll go right lane, kick it out. Open Kaufman. Too strong offensive board Decatur. That three is perfect. You know who? Braylon Peck. 6-point game. She has 18 on the evening. Funderburk way off. That is the end of the third quarter.
Braylon Peck time.
It sure is. She has 18. 6 of 8 from the field.
We all right now.
And 6 rebounds to boot. 6-point game. We go to the fourth. Be back in a moment. You're watching the NFHS Network.
This is the number 4 National Championship game, 8 minutes away. If you are here supporting the team, please make some noise. If you are here supporting Waco Lavega, please make some noise.
(41-35) La Vega.
Last quarter, bring it home.
A strong finish from Braylon Peck has made this a 6-point game. Brazil fell down, but she gets back up. Harbert, no. Put back, no from Parker Minute. Taken back by the Eagles. Brazil to Kaufman. They wanted her to shoot, and I don't blame them.
Peck's now calling for the ball each offensive possession. She already was a part of the block on the other end.
Can you blame her?
8 points in that third quarter.
Kaufman is fouled by Rye Kinsey, and Kinsey is livid. That is her third personal foul. And Willis is actually letting Kinsey know that they're right.
It's so easy in this spot, Chase. If you've come up short last year against this exact same team, even though the stakes are a little bit different, that you've seen this before. So La Vega has to understand this is why they came back to play in another state title game, to avoid what happened last year. Now that you're seeing another run here from Decatur.
Kinsey working inside. She draws contact. 2 shots coming up after the foul is called on Lakin Kaufman. That is her third personal foul. (16 team fouls on Decatur. 14 team fouls on Lavega in this game alone. And we're just a little over a minute into the fourth quarter. It's been that physical of a game.
I'm glad we're safe over here.
Yeah, I'm just chilling over here. We just have to look nice. Barely.
You do. You clean up well.
Kinsey missed the second free throw, and that's big. It's still a two-possession game, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Sailor Peck. Funderburk taking the charge.
Yeah, Sailor Peck set a hard screen away from the ball, and that's why, if you weren't paying attention to it, you saw it, but Leilani Crumpton, one of our 3 officials tonight, kept her eyes on it the entire way. That's a good call.
Wide open in the corner is Funderburk. She's way off. A fight for the ball. It's taken away by Braylon Peck. If they call a held ball, it's going to Decatur. Kelly slow to get up. And I feel like we're watching a game on a blacktop. It should be Eagles basketball.
Certainly the way things are trending.
Kaufman at midcourt. Sailor Peck to Braylon Peck. Oh boy, that's a big one. That's called on Spratt. And that is her 4th personal foul with 6:28 to go. They better get it off. They just do to Lakin. Brazil has it roll off. It's off of Sailor Peck.
And Lavega fans thought that she did, to make the comparison, the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the extension of the offhand to create space, as Kelly went flying. There's no opinion. There's no opinion tied to it. Fan. No opinion tied to it.
You're a Nuggets fan.
I'm drawing metaphors for the viewer at home. Our job description is to contextualize.
Aren't you a joker? Up ahead to Kinsey. Kinsey underneath. Parker Minute is blocked. Wow. What a save that was.
Chase, I didn't think as soon as that shot got started that anybody had a chance of touching it.
I didn't either.
What great pursuit at the back end.
Maddox Kaufman with the block. Oh, it just rolls off the rim for Kelly. And it's taken back by the Eagles. Maddox Kaufman with the rebound. Brazil. Outside to Peck, back to Brazil.
We had a chance to go 3-on-3. That favors the offense every time.
Peck lost possession. Funderburk with the deflection.
Oh, no,
that was a great defensive play for Funderburk, stripping that ball.
"11 steals tonight by this Pirate defense." But now you're going to get Davis back on the floor. Remember, Chase, she has the 4 fouls that she's working with, but they need spacing right now.
Funderburk. She got fouled.
And Coach Kaufman calling everybody over now. You know, it's rare times you see both head coaches with championship pedigree, Chase, and it's almost another battle in and of itself, watching these coaches coach the way it is watching these players play.
These are 2 of the best in the business going at it. Funderburk with the miss. The foul, by the way, was on Oates.
Neither team has shot it well from the line today. 58% for Decatur and now under 61 for Lavega.
Oh my goodness, it rattled out. That's stolen right back and scored by Kelly. What a play by Samaria Kelly. Intercepted. Herbert. Rebounded Davis. They had to get it across. Up ahead to Brazil. Brazil now with 5 minutes. Wide open is Davis. Count it. C.C. Davis. Timeout Decatur. And you're seeing something very interesting. We were kind of talking about it during a break. Brazil has been very, very hesitant with some looks. And you just saw Drew Kaufman come over and say, hey, don't be afraid to attack and go. We'll take a break. Be back in a moment. EJ and I will talk more about it right after this.
Once a year, a rhythm thunders across Texas. It can't be tamed. It can only be driven. Texas is Ford Truck Month. Let's ride. These trucks, they haul, tow, and conquer everything in their path. So hold on tight and drive the Stampede.
The Stampede is running at your best in Texas Ford dealer. Get 0 for 60 plus 1,000 truck month bonus cash and F-150.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Davis is on the floor for Decatur. She just made a three-pointer, but she has 4 fouls. Deflected by Davis. She better be careful. Kelly keeps it alive. Gives it off to Kinsey. Parker Minute. Kinsey going against Lakin Kaufman. Kinsey stops, just got it out to Kelly. Kelly going the other way. It's deflected and stolen by Brazil. Brazil got fouled as she was putting up a shot, and she will go to the line for 2.
And that's the 4th on Kelly. So now you have Spratt with 4, Kelly with 4, and Parker Mint and Kinsey still playing with 3. But we talked about it earlier in the game, Chase. That is what those patient possessions can do. Is all it takes is one pass to make the entire possession go empty.
How about that moment, by the way, between Drew Kaufman and Style Brazil? We saw it right before the break. Drew came right up to her and said, hey, don't be afraid. Go after it. And sure enough, she responds.
A lot easier said than done. She began the day 2 of 8, but I guarantee you nobody here supporting Decatur or anybody back at home cares what she does aside from this final 4 minutes.
It's a one-possession game. Kelly checks out of the contest as she has 4 fouls. Kinsey, halfway through the 4th quarter, goes right lane, floats it up, off the glass, rebounded by Peck. Goes right into the hands of Davis, now to Lakin Kaufman, back the other way. Brazil being guarded by Funderburk. Brazil drives left lane, puts it up, and just off. Deflected, rebounded by Peck, and she's got it. Braylon Peck, her 9th rebound and her 20th points. 7 of 9 from the field, and here comes Decatur alive.
With Kelly on the bench, there's not a single Pirate on the floor today that's made a 3. That tips the hand of what Lavega wants to do offensively. So if you're Decatur, now you can clog up the paint knowing that the three-point threat isn't there. And as we say it, Kelly's walking back onto the court.
Funderburk with the wise play, throwing it off of the shins of C.C. Davis. 3:08 to play. 1 point game. She's got to get it in. That was close to a violation, but it was stolen by Sailor Peck anyway. Lakin Kaufman keeps it alive. Over to Davis for the lead. Just off. Who wants that basketball? The held ball takes it on over to Waco Lavega. Maddox Kaufman will come in. Davis will come out of the contest. She'll take a seat with 4 fouls, 2:56 left.
These have been tight rotations today, Chase. It's important to note that everybody's getting close to their 30th minutes right now. You're talking about Peck and Kaufman, and for Lavega, they've only been able to run out an 8-person rotation.
Trouble on Kinsey. Kinsey can't believe it, but what a double team.
She's been so good all day, being one of the primary ball handlers. That's her first turnover of the day, Chase.
Davis is back in and throwing it into Brazil. Open is Kaufman for the lead. Short. There is Peck. She's fouled. She got fouled, putting it back up. It's on Parker Minute, and that is her 4th personal. And Peck now has a chance to at least tie and potentially take the lead. Who else?
Let's go, Bird!
Jesus.
Braylon Peck has given Decatur the lead.
Immaculate.
A 9-0 run for Decatur in the last 2.5 minutes. Waco Lavega has not scored in the last 3 minutes. Chased down by Parker Minute. Kelly being guarded by Brazil. Kelly goes behind the back. Nice move. Hand off to Kinsey. She spins. She's fouled by Brazil. And that's only the 2nd personal on Brazil. That is the 4th team foul. 2:06 to go. Pass into Kinsey. She draws the foul. And 2 shots are coming up for Rye Kinsey. And that's on Brazil again. That's her 3rd. Looks like Davis, with her 4 personal fouls, is about to check back in.
Kaufman's had to be very selective on how he wants to use Davis, and now he understands that he wants an extra shooter on the floor. But again, Kinsey, 4 of 10 today.
Kinsey has tied it at 45. She struggled at the line all day, but that was clutch. She can be even more clutch right now. With a chance to put them up by 1 with 2:04 left. Which she does. Davis will throw it in. Just got it into Kaufman, now back to Davis. Less than 2 to go. Here's Brazil.
Let's play defense. Let's play defense. Come on.
Brazil drives inside.
Oh, good stuff.
Pass to
Let's
Davis.
go.
Here comes Kinsey.
21.
Kinsey one-on-one. Drives inside and lays it up and in.
Yeah.
Injury timeout. Lavega goes up by 3. Kelly's coming out of the game.
Gosh, take another look at this from Kinsey,
You're
Chase.
right.
The cross, what a
Get it
time
at
to
the
pull
hoop.
out the crossover. And the ability to finish in that type of spot. Reed Kinsey was here a year ago, and now she's making the big plays down the stretch.
Pass into Kaufman. 90 seconds to go. Kinsey defending. Peck goes baseline, draws the foul. It's on Parker Minute, and that is her 5th. And no one does that better than number 35.
What it also does, Chase, it is now Lavega's over the limit. So if they want to run another action play through Peck, they can get to the free throw line. As you said, she's just as good as anybody drawing fouls. And if it comes down to Decatur staying in this to win or send it to overtime, you better believe that 35 is going to have the ball in her hands.
Peck, 22 points, 7 of 9 from the field. 7 of 9 from the line with 1 more to go. She also has 10 rebounds.
This forces Lavega to put Spratt back on the floor with her 4 fouls.
Peck got them both. It's a 1-point game.
Let's go.
Vanderberg kicks it out. Kinsey wide open.
Yes, sir! Yeah, come talk about. Get it at the roof. Yeah!
When the money was on the table, Kinsey with a wide open look, there's never a doubt as it leaves her hand. And pushing it to a 2-possession game, that is one of the most cold-blooded shots you'll see in this type of spot. Braylon Peck's accolades have been well-deserved, Chase. Kinsey, 21 points, 7 of 15. She's the leading scorer. Between herself and Kelly, Kinsey really has been the one to keep this offense flowing in the right direction, and when Decatur has made their runs all throughout the day.
Well, I think I know what this strategy is going to be from Drew Kaufman. 35. Where are you? 35, 35, 35.
And you know what? She probably wants it to be that way.
And these two future Division I stars going at it. Kinsey going to UTSA, a future Roadrunner. 21 points. 7 of 15. Peck on the other side, 24 points, 7 of 9. Both of them playing in their final high school basketball game tonight.
Come on. Put this on my phone.
Lakin Kaufman. There's Peck in the corner. Driving in, putting it up. She's short, gets her own rebound and takes it outside. She's wide open for 3. Of course. Did you have any doubt when that ball left her hands?
You rarely do, but it's all created by her grabbing her own rebound. She doesn't sit there and sulk. She understands that she has to get back on it, and that's a defensive breakdown by Lavega. No matter how tall where positioning is, you cannot let 35 get out by herself along the perimeter. She's going to burn you every time, as we just saw. 3 of 5 from three-point land tonight.
How fun is this, huh?
Not bad.
Oh, man.
Well, now if you're Lavega, you have to ride your hot hand.
Absolutely.
And you have to know that 0 is going to be involved in this offensive possession.
No matter what, you got to guard the perimeter. By the way, back-to-back possessions. How do you let Kinsey get wide open all by herself, and then Braylon Peck wide open all by herself?
The Peck one, we just saw. Nobody
she got a
followed
lucky
her out.
bounce.
Nobody followed her out. Kinsey, what a lot of people aren't seeing is that there's a lot of off-ball
they nice
movement right
though.
now.
I gotta give it to
away
them.
from the ball, which obviously if you're in your third or fourth rotation and you've played 29, 30 minutes, you don't think that little trailer is going to make a difference, but these last minutes, you have to follow every single time.
What's interesting is that Kinsey has been the worst free throw shooter for Lavega today. And then a foul is going to be called on Maddox Kaufman. And that's the third personal foul for Kaufman. And that's going to send.
We're shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Correct. Kelly to the line. Kelly, however, has been perfect. 4 of 4 at the line. Never fails. And I didn't even mean to. I'm just reporting what I see. Kaufman comes out. Davis comes in. She has 4 fouls herself.
Let's go. Let's go.
She makes the second. It's a 2-point game in favor of Waco Lavega.
You
pass it to Kaufman.
You find whatever look you like. It does not have to be a 3, does not have to be a 2. You find the one where Peck is at least going to have action towards her, and you live with the result.
There you go.
Davis.
Switch back.
Trouble!
Let's go! Let's go!
That's just great closeout by the Pirates, because in the high pick and roll, you saw Peck working down on a body around her, but the length of Kinsey prevented that passing lane from coming open.
Kinsey to throw it in from the boundary. Is that Braylon Peck taking a seat?
You're correct.
That's interesting. Wide open is Horn. She missed it. Offensive putback, no good for Spratt. Spratt missed it again. Rebounded by Kaufman.
Peck's off the floor. She's not going to be on the floor unless the timeout's called.
You better know it. Jeez, Louise.
What happened?
Lavega had 3 shots at it to take a 2-possession lead, and they miss it all 3 times.
You got exactly what you wanted if you're Lavega, because Decatur didn't foul. It looked like they were planning for them to foul, which is maybe why you also saw Kinsey inbound it, so you put your better 2 free throw shooters in the backcourt, but then nobody fouled. Nobody covered the backside, and then that's where you have the shot that you're begging to go in. And you can't hit the second and third chances. That's such a tough break for Lavega, who did everything right except the one thing that matters. This might be an away from the ball screen to allow Peck to come open, but if you're Lavega, if somebody else beats you, you live with the result. If they find Davis open on the wing and she takes a 3 and hits it, you tip your cap. But all you have to do is put at least 2 bodies on Braylon Peck.
2 bodies? We better play this. Nah, bro. We got 9 seconds. Come on.
But again, you don't have to do it shooting-wise. You're in the bonus already. And 2 players on the floor for Lavega have 4 fouls.
9.5 seconds to go. Pass into Braylon Peck. Back to Davis.
Bro, go man up, bro. Just go man defense, man. Yes, just go man defense.
Did the clock not start? That's really defense, unfortunate.
Yeah, it's confirmed the clock just didn't start.
They're going to have to do that all over again.
What? I ain't never seen nothing like this.
That shot could not have been more wide open.
That's
Chase.
the thing.
We'll see how it plays out.
Brutal. Wide open.
And Decatur's out of timeouts. And Drew Kaufman is beside himself.
His play worked. His play worked.
His play was wide open.
Now, do you have a second action off of that play?
I honestly have no idea what else they could be talking about.
Yeah, man.
I mean, they reset the clock.
Don't switch. They don't need to switch nothing.
So now it's inside of 9.
Yeah, man, we got to clock this shit.
So, was it an inadvertent whistle?
Yeah, they put 9.5 back in the clock early.
Oh, my goodness, it was.
Come on, baby.
Wow. She'll throw it in from where the whistle was blown. Floater into Peck. Oh, my! We are tied! Braylon Peck has tied it. 5 seconds to go. Here's Kelly. She didn't know how much time she had, and we go to overtime.
Chase, Marcus Willis wanted the timeout, and he wasn't granted it. With about 3 or 4 seconds, as soon as they got into the offensive front court, he was calling for the timeout. Nobody heard him.
You want to talk about one of the wildest sequences ever. First of all, what a pass to Braylon Peck.
But then it was the next possession. You know what? We're going to focus on that possession. First of all, a heck of an inbound pass, especially when you know for a fact that there was no second play drawn up. And that was 35, head tap, give me a chance to win it, and she did.
Braylon Peck has 29, 11 rebounds. Kelly, who's been tremendous today, with 20 points, 6 of 11 from the field.
And 4 minutes thrown on the clock now. And both teams will have 2 timeouts. You always know, Chase, from the years watching March Madness in the NBA, usually that team that scores first, the numbers skew heavily that way. I don't think there's any deception in what we're going to see between Kinsey and Peck. This game is going to fall into those 2 seniors' hands.
Keep an eye on Kelly and Spratt in foul trouble. Davis has 4 fouls as well. Opening tip controlled by Lavega. Kinsey with 3 fouls of her own.
Come on, Lil B, come on. Please, you got 3 minutes.
Boy, is Lavega thinking about that last possession, the last 2 possessions right now. That's off of Lavega.
You have to remember, young Braylon Horn, she's just a sophomore. She was the recipient down there, and now because of the foul trouble, she's been thrusted into this role now, to where she has to be on the floor, having the ball in her hands with the game on the line.
Lakin Kaufman across midcourt. She wants Davis. Kaufman's going to drive and just miss. Davis going after the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds.
And Kaufman took a body into her.
She's a little slow to get up, but boy, she tough. That was actually Saylor, 25, not number 5, coming in, trying to get the rebound. But it will go to the Lady Pirates. By the way, I still can't get over the call from Drew Kaufman to take Braylon Peck out of the game in a 2-point game with 20 seconds.
He also knew he had that timeout.
I was just floored. Kinsey at the top of the key. 0 guarding 0. Kinsey stops, has it deflected by Brazil. Brazil going after it with Kinsey. Held ball, possession arrow is going to point in favor of Decatur. What a defensive sequence by the Decatur Eagles and Style Brazil specifically. She just wants some camera time. Who can blame her? In a game like this. Yeah, exactly. No, that's only allowed for Latham. That's right. Pass into Brazil. trying to get it to Peck, and it's deflected away by Kelly. Kelly with a bouncer to Funderburk. Get that out of here!
There are blocks that are technique, and there are ill intent-based blocks. That was the latter.
That was blocked with authority. What another great defensive play by Brazil. Here's Kelly off the tip of the rim. Rebounded by Sailor Peck. She takes a hard fall going against Kinsey, but there's no call. What a pass from Brazil to Peck. And finally, someone gets on the board in overtime. It's Decatur from you-know-who, Braylon Peck.
31 on 10 of 13.
Braylon Peck is going to get called for the foul. Guarding Kelly. That is Braylon's third personal. And Kelly will go to the line to shoot free throws. Lavega only 15 of 25 after that free throw from the free throw line. However, a large part of those misses come from Kenzie herself, who's 6 of 12. Wow. She got them both and we're tied. And Willis wants a timeout. A full timeout taken by Waco Lavega. We will take a full timeout with them. We'll catch our breaths. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the NFHS Network.
You can't guard me? You need a break? Ellen tonight. Do you need a break? Come on!
Ben!
If you ain't got nothing to do tonight, they got Sip and Skate at Skate Waco, 10:30. It's BYOB. You can't bring the bottle in, you got to put it in some plastic. So Waco, if you ain't got nothing to do, Sip and Skate, Skate Waco, 10:30. BYOB. Do not bring a glass bottle in. You have to pour in some plastic. All right, bet. That's my only announcement. Can you see my phone?
Davis throws it into Peck. Now to Brazil. Brazil stops, brings it back out, and Kaufman was about to have a heart attack.
Again, once the floor opens up like that, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, it's always going to point in favor of the offense. So much more space to work with. It's the second time Brazil's passed that up today.
Sailor drives inside, puts it up, just off the rim. Rebounded by Spratt. Here's Kelly at the UIL logo. What a move by Kelly. Kicks it outside. Horn is open for three. Oh, front side of the rim again. Rebounded by Brazil. One minute. Brazil gets a screen. Bouncer to Peck. What a find! Braylon Peck! And what an assist from Brazil! Decatur back up 2 with 40 seconds left in the fourth, in overtime. Kinsey splits the defense. Oh, that's a foul on Peck. That is the fourth personal foul on Braylon Peck.
Now you put the pressure back on Kinsey to hit her free throws.
That's best against best. And now it's up to Kinsey to respond. And it can't be emphasized enough how big that foul was. Not just to put Kinsey at the line for 2 to potentially tie. She just missed the first. She's now 6 of 13 from the line. But it's also the 4th personal foul on Braylon Peck. They just had to survive 32.3. She missed them both. Rebounded by Sailor Peck. Brazil got it up to Davis. Sailor back to Davis.
You got to think about fouling.
Yes, you do. Clock winding. Back to Peck with 15, and they got a foul in with 13.9.
That took way too long to foul. Once you saw that Decatur had no plans to launch an offensive possession, you have to foul. You wasted about 10 seconds. Good on Decatur passing the ball around.
She shot those free throws with 32.3, and the clock is now at 13.9. And Kaufman's at the line after Spratt fouls out.
You allow maybe 8 to 10 seconds to decide if you want to go for the turnover. But once it was clear that nobody was going to be within 20 feet of the basket, that's when that foul has to come out.
Lakin Kaufman for 2.
Hasn't been there yet today.
Decatur 14 of 19 from the line. Lavega 16 of 28. 12 misses. Kinsey is responsible for 8 of them. Timeout Decatur going up by 4 with a hair under 14 seconds. A full timeout.
You want to talk about ice water in the veins of Kaufman. You've gone 36 minutes without a trip to the free throw line. And your hopes of a back-to-back state championship run rest on your first 2 of the night.
Boy, I got to tell you, there's a couple sequences that I am thinking about right now. I'm thinking of 3 in particular. First of all, that one that took a lot of time. Then just before that, Kinsey missing those free throws. Missing 6 others before that. But especially the possession where they were up by 2, had wide open shots underneath the basket, and couldn't make any of them.
These weren't wide open bunnies. These weren't wide open threes. These were the shots you do to warm up off the wind that you hit 25 straight times before you start practice. And it hurts right now for Lavega. This one's far from over. But if this doesn't turn their way, those sequences are going to play in their head for maybe another 365 if they can get back here.
Kinsey to throw it in. Quick pass into Kelly. And they better go in a hurry. Kinsey down to 6 seconds. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded underneath.
10:30. Skate Waco. Sip and skate. That's all I got. Sip and skate if you ain't got nothing to do. We're going to go sip and skate. Lord. Even if they won, we still went sip and skate. 10:30. BYOB. Do not bring a bottle in.
Also cannot advance at that point. And free throws just came back late in this game.
Unbelievable. Unreal. Harvard missed them both. Decatur has gone back to back.
Gotta give it to him. Those hooping. Yeah, Texas killing.
I'll just get it out of the way now. Your Academy Sports and Outdoors player of the game is Braylon Peck. How about this? Are you ready?
Edge of my seat.
33 points. 11 of 14 from the field. 8 of 10 from the line. 12 rebounds. A block and a couple of steals to boot.
What we assume is 2 MVPs, 2 state championships.
She goes out on top with back-to-back state titles, back-to-back state MVPs, alongside her sister, who is the future star, as you could also see for Decatur.
And what a moment for Coach Kaufman, being able to do it on this stage. And there's few, if any, that are more respected among Texas high school basketball coaching circles than that man. And we'll touch on, of course, the success that's coming for Decatur. Your heart legitimately breaks for every single one of those Lavega Lady Pirates. They feel in their hearts they had this game won a couple of times, and getting back, I mean, you know this as good as anybody, Chase.
Hej, Poncesi.